you steal Breathe Fire and you have Fade Bolt, so that's like 50-60% damage reduction in the mid game, which is pretty insane.
Man, that Dragonite plus Rubik lane is obnoxious if they were on the same side. Like I've played it a couple of times, seen it a couple of times. You literally have minus damage on the lane. You're healing the creeps. It's stupid.
And Venomancer banned out. I'm really not surprised. This hero has been so popular. The hero that can build any kind of items does well. Even if he loses the lane, it really doesn't matter. He can just farm the jungle, suddenly shows up with Guardian Greaves, Hood, whatever, any tanky items just to buff up his team. And it's very hard to approach Venomancer's team. You need to have a lot of smokes, too hard to go through past the wards, and he can solo defend the towers. That's pretty insane, actually.
I also think for them, Venomancer would be really bad. One of the heroes to go for on the lane versus Veno is Enchantress. Like, you don't care about the slows, you don't care about his poison stings, you can always heal up through Nature's Attendance as well. Later on, when you have Untouchable, you just don't care about the hero. You buy a pipe on her, and it can be really bad for the Veno. Timber saw banned out. We have seen some Timbers yesterday, but from MOTACI, Undying. All right. So they don't want to see Undying in the pool.
That's a positive. There we go.
Yeah, it's good. At least we won't see the hero.
It is positive to see Undying being banned out. Man, I don't know. I just really dislike the hero. You play the game for 5 minutes and then you're like, what do I do now? The problem with the hero is you can't push the lanes. Well, maybe the thing you can do right now is stack. If your team is losing, it feels like you don't have a place in the game. It just feels it's 4 versus 5.
That's very interesting. Like, so Ancient Apparition, back in the day, sometimes was picked versus Enchantress because you counter her. She can't heal up. But the thing is, most of the time, Enchantress is a support right now. Yeah. And that support Enchantress can crush Ancient Apparition in the lane. And later on, you don't really care that you're countered. You're still a position 5 Enchantress, so doesn't matter that much. Interesting pick. I'm wondering, maybe they picked it for some different reasons. Maybe they have a hero in mind that gets countered even harder by the AA and they'll pick it next. Or maybe they're block picking some Necros or something similar.
It's also a very good laning partner for Dragonite if they decide to dual lane it. First time I saw it at the start of the year, some Chinese teams were playing it. Like Dragonite safe lane with AA, it's also like 5+ seconds stun once they hit level 3, which is insane. And then also, as you mentioned, block a couple of picks, something like Alchemist, which is pretty cheesy, or Necrolite we've seen yesterday, last pick Necrolite, which did amazing. One thing I'm worried about MOTACI's game plan is, like, they had a huge lead against Evil Corp yesterday, and then they just completely messed up. They could not finish the game. That was the Ember. Ember plus, let me just check, Ember and Drow Ranger.
Yeah, they had the Drow game. Yeah,
because
they versus Bat, right?
Yeah, they did not have enough damage to go and try to finish the game when they had the huge lead. And also, some decision-making was really not on point when they were trying to kill the egg. Phoenix was high level. At one point, he even hit level 25 with Aghanim Scepter. Like, they hit it 3-4 times. Like, you need to hit it 15. So that's what bothers me when I see stuff like that.
It's a good Storm game. For the Brewmaster, they don't really have too much of lockdown. The laning stage as well versus Void and AA might be a bit problematic if that's what he's laning is in, which most likely is the case. But it's a decent Storm game. Like, what I would like from MOTACI is to get the carry that's bulky enough and just can frontline. I don't want to see them playing anything like a Drow. And I have a feeling the teams that are lower tiered, it becomes exponentially harder for them to execute these Drow strategies, sniper core strategies, anything that requires you to set a perimeter around your core and protect him in these teamfights, because it's just much harder. The other team just needs to run at you straight, and they have a plan. Get BKBs, get on top of that Drow, you're gonna eliminate her. She will be out of position one of these times. Someone isn't gonna use the Force Staff properly, someone isn't going to swap her, or things like that. So just get something bulky. Something like a Void is much easier. You have a built-in time lapse in your hero as his first spell. It's much easier to play around that.
So they banned out Naga Siren and Raid King. Raid King is old school counter to Faceless Void, like you don't care if you're being chronoed since you have 2 lives. And on the other side, you have Queen of Pain and Puck. They're very limited on the control. Like Rubik's Lift is okay, Storm, but you're still, considering the draft that they have, you need to spend 2 bans just to protect your whole draft, since any kind of elusive hero is gonna punish you. Like CK stun, you can easily dodge that. So right now, they can put Dragonite on the side lane, they can put Dragonite on the mid, even though it's a Storm favorite matchup. I've seen Storm Spirit just, having 10 plus CS 5 minutes in against the Dragonite. Ember Spirit's still in the pool.
Yeah, they're thinking about heroes that deal with CK's illusions right now as well, right? Anything that builds the Shivas as well could be cool. Something that combos with Void in that Chrono could work as well.
They have enough.
Invoker was, yeah. So when you say combo with Void in the Chrono, you're thinking pretty much Invoker. He's also a hero that brings a lot of AoE versus the CK. Could be a little bit problematic because you have multiple heroes that are susceptible to Storm Spirit now. If he has a blast of a game, he can get on top of that Invoker, eliminate him. Same goes for Void, same goes for Mirana and AA. When it comes to their control, yeah, they do have some, but it's not like a perfect amount for a Storm Spirit.
So overall, right, we get the draft, and it's a best of one. It's one where you can't take a risk on having a dodgy draft. We got a slightly more favored, or are we feeling it's a bit more even?
Yeah, let me go first. I'm just gonna go a little bit in favor of 5Comrades.
Huh?
Before the draft, I said that I believe in the Chuck boys a little bit more, but they pulled this CK out of the bag, and honestly, the biggest issue I have with their draft is the hero itself, because not because I think the hero is bad, just because I haven't seen it enough recently, and I don't really know with the recent buffs.
Yeah, it's your job. You should watch more Dota then.
Play more Dota as well, Liv. God damn.
Don't put me on the spot here. Come on, bruh. It's not like no one is playing the hero. Like,
less time outside, tanning, more time like Lacoste staying pale and playing Dota.
How many CK games have you watched and played in the recent time?
I did not play many CK games, that's for sure. Saw some, not very impressed. I still feel the hero is not usable. That's also not the 10th pick hero. It's not a game-winning hero. He can pop off, but this is also the hero that doesn't flash farm, struggles sometimes to get back into the game. Now you're playing against Invoker, Faceless Void, there's no save for you on your side. So I'm tending to go with 5Comrades, even though from what I saw, MOTACI seems like a bit better team, but still, just by judging that by the draft, 5Comrades have this one.
The best of one. It's 5Comrades all the way with you guys. We're going to go and get into the game, and we've got Nomad and 1437 to bring us the action throughout this one. The draft may be in favor of 5Comrades, but let's see how the game goes down. MOTACI, can they pull this one out and save themselves from elimination?
Yep, James, let's indeed find this one out. We are here and ready to get into this best of one series where it all comes down to one final game, and one team are going to put their hopes on a Chaos Knight. Theban, do you have any more faith in the Chaos Knight than our panelists seem to?
Oh man, I really dislike this hero. I mean, he is a gold Chaos Knight, so maybe he's got something up his sleeve that we don't, but it's so hard to bet against Faceless Void, Invoker, Apparition. Like, their synergy is so good on the side of 5Comrades. They got all these disables that the AA can play off, then they got the Sunstrike the Void always has, so everywhere on the map it's a constant threat. And I feel like if the Chaos Knight is not constantly snowballing, there's not a very good chance he's going to be able to carry this game.
Yeah, and what about this this Storm pick? Because it feels like there's a lot of lockdown. And generally, you know, when I hear people smarter than me talking about a Storm, it's kind of like, do they have lockdown? Yes. Storm's not great. No. Storm's pretty good, but there's definitely lockdown on this team, right?
There's way too much lockdown. I mean, I get the Storm. It's not that bad against Apparition and the Mirana, but then the DK, Faces, Void, and Invoker, these are not heroes that Storm really likes to play against. And it's not easy for him to buy a BKB early on as well. Most of the time, you see them getting Orchid, then the Bloodstone, and then going for a BKB. But by then, the Invoker probably has so much kill presence on the Storm. And then if the Storm doesn't go for Yules as well, and the Invoker goes for an Orchid, that's also problematic. So there's like so many different factors for the Storm to consider in this game.
He's got to be really kind of pumping up his IQ for this one if he wants to have a successful Storm game. It does just feel like one team has a really easy draft to pull out and one team has to play like way, way better. You know, we've talked a lot in our cast about how the skill level is not always representative if the draft isn't even. And I think this is going to come down to it as well. You know, they've really put themselves against the wall, Mordecai, in MOTACI, sorry, and coming up against these the 5Comrades this one. So, but yeah, there's going to be Cancel Invoker as well. You know, exciting stuff. A bit of a star on this hero, I would say. You know, it's a key hero of his for sure. So that's going to be an exciting one to watch. Meanwhile, Flash setting up top, maybe looking for a cheeky arrow in on the root here. If they're not ready for this one, they might find themselves caught out. Nah, Tipex ready for it. Does manage to juke it out nicely. But that means Exotic D gets the rune, and Tipex also taking like a ton of harass for this as well. But won't be taking anything more. Just going to be losing out a bit of regen to start off this lane.
Yeah, Mirana, so sneaky, man, on that level 1. Actually, I've been playing a lot of Mirana, and I've been watching a lot of Mirana too. This hero is really strong in this current patch, mainly because these arrows can provide you with so much disable, and it's very high impact. And in the early game, you're just always removing the catapults. Oh, Jetrus, so close. And I was going to say, the early game, you're always constantly removing these catapults, and the opponents are having a really difficult time trying to take objectives against Mirana.
Yeah, for sure. She's just annoying. She's just a girl with an arrow, and that's about it. That is about it. So how does this Storm versus Invoker matchup generally go in the middle lane?
I think the Storm doesn't really have a lot of kill potential on the Invoker, but the Invoker is going for an Exor. Maybe it's just level 1 Exor, but if he goes like full Exor, I think the Storm does have kill potential on it. Because Exor Invoker obviously doesn't have that super high sustain. He will be maxing out the Exor damage, and then if there's any rotations coming out from Radiant side, they can definitely get this Invoker killed off. Also low movement speed, the Exor Invoker.
True. Both could end up in a bad position if they misplay here. So pressure on to both players here in this mid lane. Meanwhile, Muff trading with the Davai Llama up in the top lane. As this AA really kind of manning up on the Rubik here. Doesn't care. You know, this man's got himself chilling touch, and by gum, he's going to use it. Meanwhile, Tivek's going to do pretty well against this Faceless Void, I imagine.
Me? Apparition is actually going to be chasing down this Rubik just a little bit. He's got 10 seconds on the chilling touch. The Faceless Void can't really help him out here. So he's going to get one strike. Oh,
in the middle lane. Yeah, they're able to bring it down at Mambo. Cancel, starting things off with the first blood. And do it in style as well, the Sunstrike. Meanwhile, down the bottom, they're able to take down the Bloody Sky as the DK, not so tanky when he's being pounded away at by the Enchantress. The Chaos Knight, meanwhile, up at top now as well. 3 kills across the board as the Davai Llama goes down at top.
Yeah, this Chaos Knight is actually very, very powerful in the early game, and you have to be a bit careful. Like, the DK doesn't really have any kill potential bottom. His goal is just to try and farm up. But if the Enchantress ever comes in with a creep or like slows down this DK, it's going to be quite scary because the CK can do a lot of damage this early into the game, especially with that armor reduction from the Reality Rift plus the Ench and the creep.
Yep, combo that up with a impetus or 2 and you are in some trouble, as the Blaze guys found out. But you know, this is kind of like the bonus of picking a hero which isn't popular, right? Because you can surprise people. You forget how to play against certain heroes. And these guys are very, very good, but it doesn't change the fact that, you know, muscle memory and just gut reaction will disappear over time. So I reckon like that's kind of a factor of why this guy got caught out of Hicks. It's just like, I mean, who plays TK? Like, what do you do when this guy goes on you? He doesn't do stuff, but you know. I do think this DK is an amazing pick into the CK in general, though, just because of Breathe Fire over those illusions and the splash damage as well.
The damage reduction on all of those illusions, and late game you also got that blue or the black dragon, right? The splash damage can get rid of those illusions as well. I don't think they're gonna have a big problem removing illusions late game. Mid game is where CK does hit some power spikes, and if he's not getting team wipes on the opponent during those fights, that's when you're gonna have to start worrying for the Chaos Knight.
Yeah, that's when you run into concerns. But so far, so good, as he is doing very well in this bottom lane, dominating the DK currently in CS as they continue to lay on the harass onto the DK. And even with the point in Dragon Blood, he's still taking a lot of damage down here. And Flash on this map.
Flystone and the Reality Rift.
Yeah. And this is the flip side of the Mirana, isn't it? You know, like, she's great with arrows, with setups, but in lane, she's not that much of an effective hero.
I want to say that has a lot more to do with the Dragon Knight than the Mirana.
Okay.
Oh, meanwhile, top the Bailamo.
Yeah,
oh, so much burst damage.
Oh my god.
Geez. That's real bad, because now he uses teleport scroll too, so he's not going to be able to come back to the top lane for a while. That means the top 2 bounties will go the side of Radiant here.
Yeah, he had a fairy fire, but I really don't think that would have changed anything. So that was just too much damage. Meanwhile, Flash has to jump away from the CK as he goes to steal the bounty rune, but Flash is the one who managed to grab it. And good thing too, since Flash did invest in this bottle, so needs to get the dividends paid.
Yeah, it's a good buy this game because there's nobody else on 5Comrades who's going to actually get a bottle. So you want someone to run around and get those power runes, pick them up, utilize their strengths.
Yeah, absolutely. Get a bottle somewhere on your team. Always good advice to follow. If you're in full position, watch your mid, see what they do. If they don't get a bottle, then you want to get yourself one along the time.
Oh, top Rubik.
Get that kind of bottle. Uh-oh.
Any time locks? No time locks. Okay, he's there all right. So this Void's about to hit level 6 here.
Sunstrike.
As soon as
well,
close.
Yeah, really close. I mean, that actually looked like it hit him, but it did not quite catch him, man. Poor Cancel.
Would have been quite a nice kill there. But yeah, Void's about to hit level 6, and on the next Sunstrike here, I think they're going to try and get this Brewmaster. It's going to be a huge kill if they can actually do that. Alright, so meanwhile, bottom here, we got DK trying to go in for that Dragon Tail into the Enchantress, but the CK pulls the Mirana away, no follow-up arrow, and the CK is going to get the Mirana. Oh, that's a real sweet play there by the Chaos Knight. Now the Dragon Knight getting turned on, so much minus armor. 2 seconds left for the Reality Rift. Actually going to go with the Chaos Bolt instead. So I think it's going to be okay. Without that Reality Rift to position the Dragon Knight and chase him down a little bit further, they're not going to be able to kill him. So Mirana comes back, heals him up top. Chrono, oh, Sunstrike, easy kill. Brewmaster was low enough to get that combo off, and all of a sudden faces Void almost level 7, still going to go onto this Rubik. Actually just going to back himself off. He knows that Fade Bolt is available. Storm keeping in, zipping. Electric Vortex, easy kill on the Void. Does not have his Time Walk available. Follow up onto the Apparition. And that's going to be another kill. Damn. This Storm making some juicy plays. Yeah, that's why the Void initially TP'd out. I mean, tried Time Walked out too.
Yeah, now he turns up in that top lane. And nice play-by-play, by the way, Steven. You know, I had a bit of connection issues going on here. Not quite sure what's happening, but yeah, you covered for me, man. Appreciate that. Yeah. In the meanwhile, though, Cancel has been able to take down the middle tower, which I think is a pretty big deal.
Huge deal. That's a catapult, and the Invoker taking the tower of the opponent's Storm at 7 minutes. That's insane. And now if the Invoker sticks around here and farms up the Storm's camps, it's going to be a huge shift in this game for 5Comrades. I think they're kind of happy they got Cancel to play for them in this game, because this man's Invoker is something else. The fact that he took a mid tower this early, that's very, very impressive, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a big deal.
All on his own.
Mm-hmm. Very good stuff from the Invoker. And yeah, I mean, you think this is where? I mean, Mambo's got the double kill at top. Invoker takes the tower at mid. Do you think this actually ends up being better for 5Comrades?
Yeah, I do. Mid tower is so valuable. As long as the Invoker continues to play around mid and doesn't make too many useless rotations and he farms up, I think it's going to be very hard for MLT here to try and get out on the map and even get a kill on this Invoker, because he's also got that Force Spirit that's constantly giving it vision.
Meanwhile, Davai Lama inevitably does go down up at top. Meanwhile, Storm jumping on to Cancel here, but Cancel's ready to turn around here, just throws in this Cold Snap and forces the Storm back. Not ready to be messed with, but up at top, they're forcing Exotic Deer back under the tower, trying to put the pressure onto this Faceless Void. He's, well, I mean, he's not feeling great about how the last few minutes have gone, to be honest. He was having a great time in lane, then the Storm shows up, then everyone shows up.
Oh, nice arrow.
Sunstrike. Ooh.
That arrow.
Dang.
Oh, man. This is the factor for the Invoker, right? Mirana can just run around, even get some solo arrows, and if she has enough damage, then the Invoker Sunstrike comes out too. Solo kills everywhere, man. All 3 lanes. They got the potential. Split top.
Yep, Exotic Deer on the run. Tifek trying to chase him down here with these pandas. Jenny also joining in this one. Bloody Sky trying to help him out where he can, but the Void, he doesn't have the time walk. He's been stunned up. The stun comes in onto the Fire Panda. Exotic Deer tries to make his way around the trees. There's nowhere to go, and he gets finished off by the shockwaves from Jenny. Another Bloody Sky. I don't think he's in too much trouble here as Tifek just sprays him with a little bit of Cinder Brew. Oh, arrow comes through, actually connects onto Jenny's creep here, and Flash just backs himself away. I don't think there's actually that much engagement here. Meanwhile, they've actually found Cancel on the sidelines here. They might be able to take him down. He's again going to try and turn around with that Alacrity, with the Cold Snap here, but the Burst Swarm's ready to staying on top of him and will get that kill. Cancel is dead, and now the Mirana in a whole world of hurt as well. She just gets plowed into.
Oh no. This is exactly what I meant by Invoker making useless rotations. He did not need to be in this top lane. All he had to do was farm around middle, increase his net worth to get to that Midas, but now he's put himself out of position. DK is out of position now because he wanted to come in and help. And what is that, 4 kills they get in this top lane now? Oh, what a disaster. 5Comrades literally just throwing away whatever advantage they built up by taking out this mid tower.
Yeah, this is definitely the kind of game you want when you've got a CK on your team, I guess. This snowballing is it's actually becoming a huge threat.
He's actually going for a Midas. He was thinking about going for the armlet first, and he's like, you know what? I'm just going to get a Midas now, get some more experience, get that attack speed. Benefits Chaos Knight quite well. I think if I've ever seen like a 6-slotted Chaos Knight, they always had a Midas. So maybe that's one of the reasons why this hero can also increase in popularity, because Midas has been seeing a lot of gameplay lately.
Yep, and of course that proc making a big deal as well. If any hero has like a proc spell, like Time Lock, like a crit, anything like that, which of course the CK has, then let's just make that Midas a little bit nicer, because it utilizes the attack speed a little bit more. So, 10 minutes in, and a really impressive start to this game from the Radiant, as they've been able to take down this top tower, and able to put a lot of pressure onto the Void, and get a ton of farm up on their CK as he heads to this Midas timing. The casual Midas Blades of Attack build. But yeah, I mean, they're having a great time so far. Can they keep up the pressure? Can they keep themselves ahead? And it comes, yeah, they're trying to take down the Brewmaster. Can he get up the split? No, he cannot. The arrow finds him, and they bring him down. They're looking for some revenge, though, and the Void's in trouble as they drag it back in with the Reality Rift, beating him down here. And yeah, as you say, Mum for the Stroll and Chrono here, trying to bring down the Bloody Sky. Lambo's getting on top of him, coming into this fight as well, but I think Bloody Sky's just bitten off more than they could chew. They do get the Brew, but it costs them 2 big calls in response. Again, just making the better trades.
Wow, Mambos on this Storm, man. He is everywhere on this map. Getting in on the Void, and then the Dragon Knight. Very clutch plays, taking out the position 1 and the 3 hero here. Although they need to snowball, I feel like they're doing a really good job, at least starting it. Getting that little ball rolling at the moment. The Storm, his net worth isn't too high, but he's made a lot of big plays.
Amos just robs Flash right out from under his nose. Absolutely rude.
Yeah, I think he was thinking about going on the Mirana, but then he sees that his team is pushing the tier 1 bottom. Too many heroes missing on the side of 5Comrades. Not worth the attempt.
Flash is just murdering all of Shenny's creeps here, though, as well. It's kind of funny to watch. Somehow he always just seems to thread the arrow through the creep waves and find the creep every time. But yeah, I mean, a lot of pressure put out onto the tier 1 of bot as well. It's obvious the game plan here from MOTACI. It's push towers and push them hard.
I don't think they're going to be able to defend this bottom tower, especially without Chrono being up on the side of Dire. So they're just going to give this tier 1 up. They're doing a good job at least defending and keeping the mid lane pushed out, though, on the side of 5Comrades. This Void, wow, he still doesn't have his Midas yet. 13 minutes in. Ooh.
Oof, indeed. Exotic Deer, despite having some decent performances, you know, they haven't been winning much to the 5Comrades, but Exotic Deer's always kind of felt like he's having a half-decent game, but this time, absolutely not. I mean, they've just put so much pressure onto him, and he is not recovering well. He just wants to grab this Midas, sit in the jungle for a good few minutes, but, I mean, what do you do when that's happening? You know, you've got an Invoker who's Exort, and you've got a DK. These heroes aren't exactly going to be making a huge amount of plays. MOTACI definitely going to be feeling very free to do as they wish as the arrow comes through, tanked by Muff. They're still going to drop down the Sunstrike, but they all just get involved with it. They all just jump into the Sunstrike radius. Yeah, don't worry, buddy. We're here for you. That's some teammate friendship right there.
They literally just made 5Comrades look like they have no damage in their lineup. I just think they just made too many errors by defending top lane in the way that they did. That's all. Oh, DK.
Reality Rift onto the DK, reducing his armor. Damage coming on in here, beating him down, and they will get that kill. Muff still hanging with that Chrono, but the Chrono actually gets dropped onto the Storm Spirit. He jumps too far, and they bring him down. A huge mistake from the Storm, punished accordingly by the Comrades. Meanwhile, unfortunately, the Davai Lama gets left behind. But, you know, they'll take it. They'll take it. Meanwhile, Chrono does run out on the Rubik, so didn't really find any usage of that, unfortunately. The Council just pushing this bottom wave, trying to apply a bit of pressure of his own here, but they have lost this middle tower. All tier 1s now taken at the 14-minute marks by MOTACI.
That's big. I mean, they're the ones who lost the tier 1 first, and it looked like they were in a bad position, but I think 5Comrades didn't understand how they could push their advantage forward in the correct way, and making a few mistakes, leading to Mott here to take advantage of that. I mean, they're hitting their power spikes at the moment. This DK has a Midas and an Armlet. He's an entire, 1,500 gold ahead of this Faceless Void already.
Yeah, he is so far ahead, and with this Roshan, he's only going to get further. Manboss probably going to take the Aegis here, where, of course, he's Storm. You know, he's easy with a Prime Aegis taker.
Still doesn't have that Orchid, though, on the Storm. Actually, almost has. He's like 125 off after that.
So for 5Comrades, there's a game plan now basically just to wait for Chrono, try and go for a cheeky pick-off until then, just keep the lanes pushed out. Is there anything else you're expecting them to do?
I think they need to get to this Dragon Knight with his Blink Dagger and just start smoking like crazy and try to get lane, like I said, get lanes out and then smoke like crazy to heroes who are playing by themselves and get one pick-off. So they could use like DK plus Apparition or DK plus a Sunstrike to get one kill, and then they could use the Apparition plus the Faceless Void or something to get that follow-up team fight. So they have like a constant flow of damage output going, but they need to get this DK to his blink first. Yeah. Because right now they're just relying way too much on the Chrono. Chrono's on cooldown. So here it is, the DK finally gets his blink dagger after farming mid.
Smoking like crazy, not often recommended, but in this game certainly is for the 4Comrades. And now with the blink picked up, maybe they have themselves a way to play. Pretty low mana right now. I hope he's got some clarities or something coming out with him.
Yeah, it's on the way. Apparition also has 2 smokes on him, so they got that game plan, right? Like you can see just from the items the players are holding at the moment. They just need this DK to join up with the supports so they can start making some space on this map. I do feel like the #1 hero who needs to be farming is just the Invoker. Like, just get him to his axe. He's almost there, actually. 900 more gold, so then you get the Cataclysm as well.
Yeah, true. That's going to be massive. That gives him just a ridiculous amount of damage inside that Chronosphere, which could be... And there's no kind of saves this game. And there's no Shadow Demon. There's no Dazzle. There's nothing like that. Oracle to help people out inside the Chrono. If you get Chronoed, you are probably dead if this Evoker casts Cataclysm on your face. And of course the AAO as well. You know, it's a huge timing for this team, but they've got to get there first.
They're doing some decent but pushing bottom. Looks like MOT at the moment, they're just gonna chill out mid, trying to see if they can apply some pressure, but then this Dragon just breathe fires the wave, and then you're like, oh, I guess that's it. Not much else we can do now.
Yep, all of a sudden everything's hitting like wet spaghetti, and that makes it very difficult.
This creep is giving some vision of the Dragon Knight if they actually want to make an initiation here. They don't really have any initiative.
Jesus, look at this dude. He's just running at the front lines of everyone. Blinks onto the CK, and now they're throwing everything down, but he dodges the Sunstrike and the arrow with the Phantasm. Oh my god. Faces Void jumps in and just takes in this spear to face. He's dead. They do get the Aegis, but I mean, Jesus, that was costly. Oh my goodness, MOTACI just absolutely wrecked the 5Comrades. Cancel trying to run his way away on the sidelines. Looks like he's going to get out of jail here. But blimey, that was just not cricket. They did get the CK after all, you know? That's something.
Yeah, they did. I think he just hesitated on the chrono there. And then once that Sunstrike got dodged, like if the Sunstrike actually hit, that CK is not getting his ult off, right?
No, he's dead. He's dead, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very unfortunate whatever happened. And the Void was in the middle of the fight, got
Marth with the blink in with the Dragon Tail, but the return Dragon Tail comes down onto the Storm Spirit and in comes that Cataclysm. Goodbye, Storm. They catch him inside of it. Meanwhile, Zebek trying to take down the Invoker. Invoker will be dying here. Meanwhile, AA Blast kills off Tipek as well. Look over towards Muff. Muff running himself away on the sidelines. Meanwhile, Enchantress, Pam trying to play around with the DK here. She's skipping herself away, and I'm not sure. Okay, now that she's frozen solid. Oh, do they have any damage? It's going to take a while. They will bring it down eventually, but goodness me. Although that said, Slayer's back in. He's here to fight. Midas first.
Never mind, they're not killing him.
Jenny's fine, dude. Jenny's fine. Lift up onto the Void. Void does have that Chronosphere, but without Cataclysm, it's not going to be that tempting, and he just gets shredded by that goddamn CK. You gotta respect the CK. The Knight of Chaos comes rampaging through and just gets 2 quick kills, and they are just not giving him the time of day right now.
I was gonna say 5Comrades came out ahead in that fight after they killed the Storm and the Brewmaster, but then the DK and the Void just giving freebies like that after they saw the Chaos Knight, that is just unacceptable. And now the Storm's gonna get another kill here too.
See you later, Flash.
See you later, buddy.
Yeah, Muff just making so much use. I mean, this Dragon Tail on him, even level 1, is just stunning for so long.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad this
really
DK hasn't leveled it up.
I really can't believe that the Chaos Knight draft is working out quite well at the moment. This Faces Void is having a real tough time in the team fights. He doesn't know if he needs to chrono the CK, he doesn't know if he needs to chrono somebody else, and all that hesitation is allowing the Chaos Knight to just get his ult off and just jump the Void.
Yeah, exactly. He's not in a good place, clearly, Exotic Deer. He's struggling to make the quick, needed decisions in this game. But his team can make it easier for him, I feel. You know, they're kind of getting really messy in the middle lane and just kind of brawling. I feel like there could definitely be, you know, some more leadership on this on this 5Comrades side. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think they just gotta be more concrete with their calls. Like if they're gonna defend or go or back or something like that. It's just too indecisive with their plays. I can see their calls being made, but the players themselves are not sure if that's what they should be doing.
Smoke on smoke. Well, Moonlight Shadow also being popped hit by the Mirana. Did they see her is the question. Doesn't look like it. They don't have the vision. The Chrono comes down. They're trying to pop onto the CK right now with the Cataclysm and the arrow all coming in, and Slayer is going to go down here. Meanwhile, they'll stun up the Brewmaster from the sideline, stop him getting off that split, and stop him entering the fight.
Wow. Cata Chrono, man. That's it.
Don't mess with it.
That's it. I mean, that was sick, because that's a perfect hero they need to jump, right? He just gets Apparition ulted and everything. He's actually going for a Heart of Tarrasque. I don't know if that's the item, man.
Well, no,
against this.
Wow.
Yeah, the CK. I think he needs a BKB if he actually wants to live against this magic damage combo on the side of 5Comrades.
Yeah, and isn't Heart kind of not great against Ice Blast?
Yeah, it isn't.
All right, big question.
I mean, his idea,
here, but you know.
So his idea is like he wants these illusions to be so strong. Like he doesn't really, he's not really gonna put his hero in a dangerous position. He's just gonna send the illusions in that are extremely tanky, and those illusions with the heart, it's not gonna be possible, right, for 5Comrades to deal with.
No, true.
Yeah, but if Invoker does get to like level 22, 23 around there, then those illusions will melt. Like he's gonna tornado, he's gonna meteor, and then he's gonna deafening blast, and then boom, they just dead.
And we need to remember the DK as well. You know, the illusions are going to be a threat, but then Breathe Fire is always there, exactly. And you know, the slow from the Elder Dragon form. Yeah,
that's true. Maybe, maybe it's not even worth it, even for the illusions. I feel his hero with the BKB has to be the one going in. This is where the game gets harder, right, for Radiant, because they can't actually push the high ground. It's very difficult. They need 5Comrades to blunder a team fight where they use Chrono and nobody dies, and then they can commit to the high ground. So
yeah, there's so much which 5Comrades can do to come back into this game that it actually feels like it's not totally horrible yet for them. But MOTACI definitely the team which are in the driving position. Also, this Heaven's Halberd is a threat as well. This just means that you need to Chrono the CK. I mean, with the heart, does he survive the combo in the Chrono to get off his Phantasm afterwards?
He probably will, but he doesn't have any way to stop the follow-up damage or the stuns.
Yeah.
Right. He's gonna get Chrono, but he's gonna get arrowed right after. So he's gonna be stunned for a very long time. And the Invoker's in the fight is gonna be able to even throw a meteor on top of the CK as well.
And look at this. They're already ready to go. They know these timings. They want to play exactly to the second upon them. They're doing the exact same move as before. They've got the Chronosphere ready to go. Cataclysm available in 2 seconds. And they're pinging out here. They want to grab that Storm Spirit if they can get up the high ground and find him. Jump up, stun, but not quick enough. Oh, they'd get the Dragon Tail for Gardens. He doesn't jump far enough. And Mambos is just going to get absolutely torn apart. And now they can wrap around on the rest of MOTACI. I think they need to get themselves away from this one. But Slawy's not showing any signs of backing out here. He's hitting some creeps. He's chilling. Tipek as well, just sitting on the front lines. All right, they are showing a bit of respect and back themselves off now as the Centaur Conqueror goes to do a bit of scouting for them. They are running. They are TPing. Muff getting a courier as he goes down, but the Chrono comes down onto the CK. They leave him behind. Everyone else is TP'd out. There's no chance of a viable hit from Slawy. Oh, the Comrades making it happen and coming back into this game with force.
That is insanely big picks. Right, you got the position 2, you got the position 1. The CK is still going for a harder terrace, so again, I don't see how this item helps apart from a BKB. Like, that's the only item I can think that can actually help him survive. So things are not looking good for Radiant. Although they snowballed and they took this tier with 2 towers, this is where the game is getting very, very difficult because they don't know what their next step is. Roshan is alive though, so they can try to make an action here while the Chrono's on cooldown.
They need to, don't they? Meanwhile, Arrow catches out the Brew before he can get off the split, but it looks like the Invoker's still in some trouble. As Cancel gets caught out, going for an aggressive movement, and they should bring him down. Cancel is dead.
That's good.
Yeah, this is going to lead up to a really easy Rosh now, yeah.
Exactly. Now they don't get that tornado combo. I mean, they just made an aggressive move. They tried their luck at killing this Brewmaster. Storm was ready. Also, I want to mention, Mambos went for Orchid into a straight BKB in this game. We don't actually see this build on Storm at all, but he actually needs it.
Is he a sad Storm, or is he still seems to be doing okay?
I think he's doing his job. I actually think he's like exceeding my expectations of what a Storm is able to do in this game. He's doing all the right moves, buying the correct items to be able to keep his team in the game while still playing the position 2 role.
You get the patented team and the thumbs up.
Yeah, it's good.
And Aegis and Cheese is going to be available. Cheese and CK, Aegis on the Storm, good stuff all around.
Wow. Do you think they should have went the I think they should have went the Aegis on the Chaos Knight so he can actually siege. I feel like they're in a position in this game where they're actually prepared to go into the high ground.
Maybe. I mean, it's always tempting to just take it on the Storm instantly, but I mean, maybe they could have put it onto the CK. He's got the Cheese anyways, but yeah, when that Ice Blast is on him, Cheese ain't gonna feel so hot.
Oh, Invoker again.
Yeah, Muff getting jumped, but yeah, indeed, as they get him on the backlines. Ice Blood come through a little bit too late, and Flash, well, he needs to get out of here in a flash, but unfortunately, with that boulder on top of his face, he ain't going very far. One more lead. That's all they have.
I was praising how 5Comrades are in a really good spot and they're playing well, and all of a sudden Cancel just dies back to back.
Yeah, it happens, you know, you get a bit of space on the map, you want to start making some moves, you know, especially when you're standing, you're like, hell yeah, this is my chance to shine, I want to show everyone what I can do, and then fortunately it goes the other way, as Flash does finally get finished off here, but no worries. Onwards and upwards, they'll have that Cataclysm Chrono available soon enough. Yeah, I mean, with a Cheese and an Aegis on the enemy team, it doesn't feel as good as it used to, that's for sure. I kind of feel like the play now isn't to try and get the CK, but rather get Muff and Shenny maybe, or, you know, the other 3, Brewmaster inside those inside this Chrono. I I mean, I guess they can still bring down the CK here, you know, with the Ice Blast cancelling out the cheese. They can probably kill him inside the corner regardless, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the CK, however he died previously, is exactly the same way he's going to die next fight. Because you cannot stop this Apparition Ice Blast hitting you in the face unless he just doesn't use it when the Chrono's active. So I think they're going to face the same exact problem of like breaking the high ground because they don't have the Aegis on the Chaos Knight.
Yeah, MOTACI really kind of struggling to make any movements, even with his Aegis and Cheese, you know, they've had it for over a minute, easily, over 2 minutes I think now, and they are not doing a hell of a lot with this. Is this part of the best of one syndrome, where it's like, they're a little bit nervous to make the wrong play, so they're not making enough plays, or are you happy with how they're using this still?
I think they're having a hard time getting on the map because they don't have good vision. A lot of their wards have been dewarded already. So if you don't see your opponents, you can't really make plays because you don't know where they are. Right? You have maybe a rough estimate of where they could be, but then you don't want to be wrong and make like a gamble move and get punished for it.
True enough, true enough. That is the big threat on the board. And vision is going to be so important against this team in these fights as well.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
But this Ghost Walk going to help out a lot with that as Muff goes for a bit of an adventure here. I think they do see him though. They've got an Observer and Sentry, so they know Muff's in the neighborhood. And now they pop that Dust and getting right on top of this Rubik here. They will be able to take him down as the damage comes through. But the Storm with the long Zit trying to make a play out of this. He doesn't really have any mana left though. He's used all of it for this. Now he gets stunned.
They gotta get out.
Let's go. But if BKB comes out, he still takes the damage from the Sunstrike. But this is a guy with an Aegis. You don't want to be engaging on for this dude. Meanwhile, CK is going to get on top of the DK. And he is the better K in this situation. Meanwhile, Exotic Gear is going to TP himself away along with the rest of his comrades. They will only lose their DK. You know, it kind of felt like one of those situations where the DK wasn't quite on the same page as everyone else. You know, he saw that arrow and he was like, hell yeah, let's go. But the Baron was like, no. This is an arrow to let us escape, and that is it.
I mean, the reason why they ran in there is because the Apparition ult was on cooldown. As long as the Apparition ult... Oh, boy, Invoker.
Long jump onto Mr. Woker here. I think... Oh, a little bit more needed. No, not going to bring him down. Can still
nice.
Somehow survives.
Big plays. He got the outpost too.
Yeah, not
For
bad
the
at all.
30-minute mark. Got some XP for his team.
I think Mambos is still hungry though, but he's going to have to wait a little bit. He doesn't have the mana right now to find anything.
Yeah, I just want to mention, Mirana, she is losing so much HP very quickly.
Oh, jump away, the Cinder Brew is still hurting
nice
her. Oh,
illusion.
illusion rune, beautiful. Just remembering the last thing that, wait a minute. This is basically a Manta, and Mambos once again just blasting all his mana out and falling short.
Yep. So if this Apparition ult ever goes out and it's put on cooldown, that's the perfect time for the Chaos Knight to actually engage into a fight. Because he's got the cheese, right? So he can't really use the cheese if he gets hit by the AA Blast. So the AA Blast cooldown might even be the most important cooldown on the side of 5Comrades. Because if they use it and they're not killing the Chaos Knight with it, this Chaos Knight is pretty much unstoppable.
It's Smoke O'Clock. Chrono gonna come down just as the Aegis ends with the Storm Third as well. Completely brilliant from the 5Comrades. They get 2 heroes straight off the back, showing a glimpse of what they can do if this team pulls it together. Now they look over towards Tipek here. Tipek is on the run, trying to get himself away, but the Smoke Tornado is gonna catch him out. He's got a BKB of his own, which I don't think was expected. And he's going to try and waddle himself away. Shenny and Slawi are nearby. Could try and help out here, but I think their Brewmaster without an ultimate is just going to get run down. And now they find the CK as well. He's going to pop the ultimate to get rid of the AA Cold Feet, but now he's all alone. His ultimate being used for not much here. He's got himself a cheese. So the Ice Blast isn't on him. If he can get it off in time, he could buy a little bit more time, but no, he's just going to get popped. And that is how you come back into a game. 5Comrades using their spells, using the Aegis timing perfectly at that as well. That was impressive.
Good. That was so good. Like, he chronoed him the second the Aegis ran out. That was so freaking good. And he got 2 of them as well. And then this Chaos Knight, he hesitated, man. For some reason, he thought that while 2 of his teammates are dead, he can still go into that fight and battle up against 5. And then he ends up getting caught too. So they lose 4 heroes at Save a Friend Syndrome. And all of a sudden, that's a 5k gold down the drain, or going the way of 5Comrades. There's an opportunity though here for Radiant to actually come out onto the map and take some fights while this Chrono's on cooldown. 70 seconds opening, or 50-second opening once the CK is alive.
Yeah, once that CK is up, they really do need to push hard and find something. You know, they need to make those decisive movements, which, you know, we just saw from 5Comrades. They need to take a page out of their book and try and make a play like that themselves.
Here we go. They're pissed.
Away. Yeah.
they're gonna do it. You can see them running down the mid lane. This is the reaction of a pissed team right here.
Yeah, they're walking that line between passionate and angry. You just want to stay on the right side where your head's in the right place. But, I mean, these guys know what's up. The 5Comrades, they're just going to completely avoid them. They've got the Mirana pushing down at bottom. She doesn't really care if she dies pushing that deep. Everybody else, they're just hanging out where they know they have vision.
This is really good. Like, this is what they got to do. They got to delay the game until they get their chrono up again and do that same thing over and over. There's no saves on the side of the Radiant against this Faceless Void. And they Invoker's Cataclysm combo.
Yeah, just using those forward spirits to push mid without any hard commitment. They are smoking up, though. They want to go to this high ground. Chrono up in 3 seconds, so not the easiest of engagements here. They've also got the Cataclysm in 5. Exotic Deer positioned perfectly for this. He can jump in whenever he wants to, and there comes the Chrono, but he doesn't actually quite catch the Brewmaster. But still, the Cataclysm going to come down and take down Muff. Meanwhile, he's trying to survive on the sidelines. They're trying to take down Flowey, and they will be able to take down the CK. That's a big target out of the fight. Shenny's going to go down as well. Exotic Deer once again with a beautiful Chrono Spear, and they also get the brew. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh dear indeed.
Yeah. In a best of one situation.
Exotic Deer.
Oh. He came back, dude.
Dude, this game. Invoker chasing that Storm. Storm has no mana. Oh my god!
all right, Cancel. You know, he's had a good game. He's had his ups and downs. You know, the highs wouldn't be as high without the lows.
Yeah, that was like one of those 50-50, like, are they gonna get that team wipe, or Cancer gonna blink into the trees? Because that Storm had 0 mana left. She was 100% dead.
Yeah. No worries. I mean, Storm's not at the point where he can kill off a creep wave, so they're still gonna be able to take this Rax nice and easily.
Oh, he's actually going on the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight doesn't have BKB.
Oh, he's actually strapped. Oh, Jesus! They leave one about 70 HP there on the DK. Oh man, I mean, it's the little things like this which Monakai must be getting really mad at this stage. They've got to have. I hope they have like the Dalai Lama on their team, because they need somebody to just be like, "Namaste, friends. It's okay. You know what? The winds will as they will. Just relax. We're on a beach. The wind lapping against our faces. The waves lapping."
Listen, if you start saying that in the middle of a game, I swear I'ma like slap you through the monitor. I'm like, we're losing, guys. What do you mean? let's just find a way to get back in this game.
Murder. Yeah, probably the more likely conversation going on right now. But Roshan is up. This is going to be the next point of contention. They jump from the void here. They might have enough damage to bring him down, but he's got a double damage bottle, so they need to get him out. And he's going to pop the BKB and look to come back into this one. I'm not sure if he wants to, though. Most with his own BKB doing a decent amount of work here, but they haven't actually found a kill, so this jump is pretty unsuccessful. He's leaping across onto Cancel here, trying to find at least one, but Invoker, he's pretty quick. And he's actually looking to maybe turn around and play a little bit around with the Storm Spirit here, realizing he's out of mana. Meanwhile, the Comrades starting up onto the CK here. They're actually going to be able to freeze him solid with the cold feet. They're picking him out. They might want to try something here. Flash comes through. Unfortunately, Arrow not available, so Slawi will be able to back himself out.
Chrono 10. This is where they need to retreat. I mean, they try to make a really good move on Radiant side to just attack while the Chrono's on cooldown. But again, like, you're playing Chaos Knight without a BKB. He casted like one set of skills the entire duration of that fight.
Yep.
That was like a minute-long fight. You couldn't do anything else because he just gets kited.
Exactly.
They just stun him, and then he's just sitting there doing nothing. His ultimate accomplished nothing as well. Can you imagine playing against a very farmed Invoker and not buying a BKB, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of frustrating to play against that.
It is rather. It is. Now, stun up onto Shenny here. Sunstrike going to help out as well. The arrow a little bit off the mark, but it's fine. I think it's fine. It's taken some time, but they will bring down the Enchantress regardless. And now
so Roshan
look
opening
into the Scaly Beast. And now be the siege.
And that's Alacrity, Faceless Void gonna kill this Roshan quite quickly, and they also have the Chronosphere available if they try to contest this.
Yeah. I mean, they have a split in 5, they have a Storm, they kind of need to try something here, but of course the threat of being chronoed is pretty great, and Flash's actually doing some great scouting here, but they're actually going to look over towards the Mirana here. Alright, they'll get themselves a return kill onto the Mirana, but not really worth it in the long run. And this is Refresher, right? Or Ags? Yeah, Refresher on Invoker. Oh no! Oh no! This chrono just went from deadly to deadlier. Well, Sifek, he's going to be able to get away with the Glimmer.
I bet they wish they got Ags instead, because then this Faceless Void could have Aghanim's right now, and he can just jump in, time lock people every time.
Yeah, that's really nice against the CK as well.
Is there like a percentage of like the chance of something dropping? Because I feel 80% of the time it's just Refresher. It doesn't feel like
it does feel like Refresher a lot of the time. Maybe it's not quite, but you know, there's no patch notes to suggest otherwise. I don't know. Maybe someone needs to get in some lobbies. You know, spam out 1,000 lobbies and let us know the percentage.
Jeez.
Come on, guys. I'm calling on you. Twitch chat. Let's go. Be useful.
Oh, Invoker. They actually
call it out here. That Linken's helping him out from the stars, but now the electric vortex comes through. Tipper getting on top of him as well. They're surrounding the Invoker. I don't think he's surviving this one. Does have a BKB, but unfortunately won't save him here. Does get finished off all the same.
That was an incredible kill because they just scanned someone and Storm just zips and he's like, I don't care. There's no other way we're going to get this guy. We're not going to make it there in time if we just walk and see someone first. So very good catch by the Storm.
The kind of plays you have to make in this situation for sure.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Hella fun game between these two teams so far. Both putting in absolute performance. No one is giving out. No one is looking like they are past the point of being able to play this game. Everyone standing up.
I want to tell you, like, Mambos, I can see this man is in the zone this game. Like, he does not want to let his team lose in any way. I feel the Storm has been the MVP on the Radiant side. Like, every action he's made, all his decision-making in the team fights, they've been spot on. Even some of his deaths that he's had has been for this team.
Yeah, we started this game by saying it's a bad Storm game, and he is just doing so much work. You know, his KDA doesn't quite reflect it. You know, he's 7, 6, and 8, but that doesn't matter. You know, the plays he has been making, the opportunities he's been creating has been pretty next level. And even that death, you know, when its Aegis just ended up at top, you know, I mean, that's as much on the scores as it is on him about the vision and everything. And just a really nice play from 5Comrades as well. So.
Oh, they get 2 outposts here on the Radiant side. Another small win for them. Oh no,
onto the oh god, he might have been cursed a little bit here as the Storm Spirit just gets taken on down. They don't even commit the Cataclysm for it. They will just take down one. They do get off the split. Almost feels like they wanted that split, honestly, because now you don't have it to defend the high ground if they want to do that next, Comrades. They're pinging out the Earth Panda. They're just going to stalk him. They don't have any intention of killing this Earth Panda.
I think Cancel was just greedy. He wanted to hold the Cataclysm for another disable.
Oh yeah.
He didn't feel like it was necessary.
Tornado catching out the Brew. Actually going in onto the Void here as the CK comes down from the low ground. I'm not quite sure that's a play. The assistance out onto him as he gets stunned back into his own face, and now the Cataclysm comes down. Is it enough to bring down Slawi? Not quite yet. He manages to get off the Phantom, but he's still going down. Yeah, catch them out, and he's got no buyback. Meanwhile, Mambos jumps back in, just dies back immediately. The Storm is just dead, and now a second Cataclysm coming on down, but it doesn't really matter. This game, I think, has just ended in the blink of an eye. I mean, have you ever seen a more potent caster's curse in your life? We're just saying how Storm's doing a half-decent job, gets picked off by a chrono, fires back, jumps in, dies immediately again. I mean, Jesus Christ, that was... sorry guys. That one's on us.
I just want to say, like, whether they win or lose, like, I still think he played well. At that point in the game, it's so difficult for Radiant to actually try and mount a comeback because they're just fighting up against, like, this huge titan of a team